What's bracking, guys? Welcome to episode 15 of my FC Utrecht remote. So definitely going to be a huge episode here, starting things out with a Europa League matchup against Olympiacos. Definitely going to be a tough side, tons of experience in, European football in general, of course, whether it be Champions League or Europa League, but definitely want to at least grab a point would be huge here. It's going to be tough, though, against this side because they do have Mitroglou, then they have Afellay, of course, at left wing, at left mid there. Actually is from Utrecht, the Dutch municipality, so interesting to see. He'll basically be facing his hometown team, of course, being born in Utrecht, but it'll be interesting to see how we do against him and handle him and Mitroglou here, but you'll see Zardes, Boymans, Ruben, Ayub, Fuentes, Selnes, Mings, Lewin, Douglas, Koum, and Verhoeven. So definitely be a very interesting fixture. It's going to be, a big step up, I'd say, in competition. They're a very good side. They're up there, with the PSV and the like. Look at that good chance from Zardes, but saved very quickly there. So definitely, it's going to be an interesting matchup. See how we compete against, a very established European side. You'll see Zardes coming back in. Good cross to Fuentes, going to hit right at the keeper, though. Couldn't get too much power, from that angle there, or much placement. Was going to be pretty difficult in that opportunity, but you'll see here Mitroglou with the ball. Good job from Douglas, big man stepping up huge there. Looks like we may have a chance here. Fuentes with the ball is going to turn right here, try to cut the ball back to Ruben, and look at that, a very close shot from Ruben there. So we're getting a lot of chances. We're really on the front foot here in this matchup, and look at this great little play, but just cannot get Zardes through all the way. Some good defense there from their right back, but you see we're going to try to cut back in with Zardes, who's going to cut the ball back to the middle here to Ayub, and it's going to be deflected out as his shot. So again, very close throughout this matchup, but it looks like Olympiacos, they have the bit more of the ball, and look at this, we do a good job winning the ball back. Verhoeven is forcing a big save, basically the game being stupid, as you can see here, guys running into each other. Verhoeven, basically bails us out with a big save, but you'll see them coming back here later in the matchup, 70th minutes here, and look at this, a free kick. Just some very good play overall, and they just really find us sleeping in the back, as you can see. Unfortunately, just very loose marking from Fuentes on the man out wide there. Of course, you just cannot leave a man with that much space. That's a big goal there. Just cannot let that happen in any case. Unfortunately, it does, though, happen here. Very disappointing because really, I would say we've dominated this match for the most part, or at least, we've created the majority of the chances. So we're just going to have to try to, get a big equalizer would be huge here. Butterzite is going to cut back in. He's going to take a rip at it, but saved very nicely, and it's going to be, look at this, actually some really intricate play in the box, was just kind of unrealistic. So it's just some stuff you have to deal with in Legendary, unfortunately. As you see, we're going to run at the defense here with Zardes, cut back in, just doing a great job, so elusive. He's going to draw a foul. I actually wish he wouldn't have gone down there, honestly, because that would have probably been a big chance on goal. So we're going to have Selnes, I believe, is going to take this here. I honestly probably should have gone with a right-footed player, but we'll see if he can make it either way. Well, Selnes is going to take the shot, but it's going to hit the wall, and that is basically our last chance of the game. Unfortunately, a game which we really dominated, but Olympiacos has, really probably two clear chances, unfortunately, and they are able to score one of them, and that's just very unfortunate here. Of course, we're just gonna have to bounce back, in the return fixture against them, and grab another 3 points and hope things go our way with some of the results. They dropped some points against Atletico Madrid and Dundalk, but you'll see here now we have to bounce back, basically a backup squad. You'll see here against Groningen, as we're in 4th place, doing fairly well. Just have dropped some points on occasion. Of course, PSV was a big win, but then we followed that up with a loss to AZ. Of course, just need to be more consistent. Really would like a big stretch here. The only big player that, of course, is staying in, we'll have Verhoeven and we'll have Zardes. Of course, Butterzite has some good experience as a salvage with their side, so that's the plus side of having the depth that we do have this season. Great to have that at our disposal here in this season now. But you see, it looks like we're going to have a chance here on this throw-in. Good job, just holding up play for Unal. Look at this cross from Zelalem, and Zardes rises up and puts that in the back of the net. Great job from Zardes. Exactly why we have him on the pitch. He's a game changer. It's either him or Boyman is going to start, but I prefer Zardes because he seems to be, a bit more fit, throughout the season. I think he has better stamina. Have to check that to be sure. But either way, he offers that, even when we don't have the strongest side, he can really take over a match, whether it be with his physical ability or his technical ability. So as you can see, a big first goal here, to get ahead. We don't want to let them, stay in the game for too long. As you can see, a big save from Verhoeven there. He's just been so big, and honestly, he's one of the best keepers I've probably ever had, despite only being, 67, I believe he is now. But look, this another big save from him, as I believe that was Douglas or Lewin, basically was right in the way of him, so that could have been very dangerous, him basically being guarded by his own player. But you'll see here, we're going to have a bit of space. You're going to play the ball back out wide as He's going to cut back in onto his right foot. He's going to take a finesse shot, a great save. Nobody can pounce on the rebound, unfortunately. So again, we're playing very well, but we just have to continue on. We want to grab another goal, and you can look at this. Zelalem looks like he may be able to do so. Great job pouncing on that poor touch, of course, off that chest. Zelalem is going to send this low cross, very hopeful, and somehow Sarri is able to get his foot around that and put that in the back of the net after a poor touch. Of course, defenders do not clear. Unfortunately, they just always have to take a touch no matter what. That should be cleared. First touch should just be a big clearance out instead of actually attempting to control it and the like. But we'll take advantage of that mishap there, and we'll try to move on and try to grab the 3 points now. We have a nice cushion here, but look at this. The ball's going to fall back here, and we're going to get short post, hit with that short post cheese, unfortunately, and we'll maybe have to defend, pretty tough here in the end of this half. We don't want to let them get back in the game. Definitely have to buckle down defensively, but we were able to grab the 3 points, thankfully. I did not have to worry about any flurries offensively from Groningen there, so we can go grab a very crucial 3 points. We have to have our backup sides do well, because this may be a common theme, but with all the match congestion because Europa League, especially if you move on the group stage, will get even more difficult. But now we're able to have a full strong side here against Herakles. So definitely big here. I really want to grab 3 points. We have to just win a lot, really, if we want to finish in a Champions League spots. So that's definitely the goal here. But you'll see they're going to come out with basically a 4-5-1 essentially. Of course, more attacking, with 2 central midfielders of Cam, and that's actually, I think it was a 4-3-3, attacking 4-3-3. But either way, we're going to bounce back here. Of course, Fuentes staying in midfield. I've really liked the way he's been playing in midfield, so hopefully he continues to perform there. Of course, Gomez has been out with an injury, but Gomez is actually... Fuentes, is our best player right now. You can see a big chance from Boymans to force that save. So definitely big from him, coming up there. Just cannot finish that, unfortunately. We're going to have a chance here, it looks like. And look at this, a big save again. Just a great header. I usually do not get clean contact. Unfortunately, when I do, is a big save, on these corners. But you can see a big chance here. Ball's going to fall back to Slanes. He's going to take the shot. It's going to be deflected out for another corner. So a flurry of corners here early is a good sign. So hopefully he can keep it up. Maybe score on one of these. Ayub was going to send this in, but unfortunately it's going to be right at the keeper. Keeper comes off his line on way too close to him in that instant. We see the ball is going to cut back here from Mings, and look at this. It's a big counterattack. Our left back is caught way too high. Koum is caught way too high, and Lewin cannot win the ball back when he stepped up. So this is a lot of bad defending. This is how not to defend on a counterattack in general, guys, in FIFA. And we do get hit with that short post again. Of course, they call it a dead zone because it really is. It's almost impossible to prevent a goal, especially in that angle, that little area, that little pocket right there is always difficult. So very unfortunate there to go down, but there's a lot of poor defending on my part on the counter-attack. We're just pushing way too high. But see here, look at this, a huge chance, but look at Lewin. What a save from him. He barely got a deflection, I believe it was, with his head, or even maybe shoulder or something. So good job from him to force a corner in that instant. But you see, they really had the upper hand, did Herakles. Definitely not what we wanted here. This is a team we need to be grabbing at 3 points against. A point may be acceptable, but either way, we need the 3 points, in my opinion, if we want to be on a steady pace to grab second. As you can see, Verhoeven has been called to action a lot, but here late into the matchup, pushing all these numbers up. You can see they're dropping deep, basically into trying to park the bus. You see all these numbers deep. So I'm going to send a hopeful cross in from Mings to Boymans. And look at this. The keeper is caught in no man's land. We're able to grab a late goal to at least salvage a point here maybe. But that's a great goal from Boymans, of course, being there in the perfect spot. A tremendous cross from Mings. I wasn't expecting that from him, but he does turn into a solid technical left back, which is great to see, of course, considering his physical ability. But looks like they may have a chance here late in the game. Look at this. Will we concede a, just an absolute stunner here? As you can see, looks like they're about to be through on goal here. Just some great play. And that Barcelona type passing, as you see, he is through on goal here. And look at that Verhoeven with the big save. Probably could have been a bit better that shot, but thankfully we do hold on to the point at least to just walk away from what was a very, very, very poor performance from our side, and hopefully, we can learn from that and move on. But we do have Dundalk here. Definitely hope, we can just grab a lot of goals, try to help our goal differential out, because that's something that will be key, considering, Olympiacos, as you can see, we're sitting there with 4 points. We need 3 points here to try to push up closer to them. Hopefully, that result goes our way. Maybe we can have Atletico Madrid kind of pull away in the group. One team pull away, one team like Dundalk will be the team that gets beat up on, but we'll see how things go. As you can see, really just trying to make something happen early. I did switch to ultra attacking, so we'll see how things go. Look at this great play for Zardes. He's gonna be out on the wing, of course. He's gonna cut back in. And look at this great shot from him. Good job creating a chance early. This is really, we put a lot of pressure on. We were exposed defensively, but I was just worried about getting the goals, honestly. Here, you see Zardes is going to cut back in, play the ball here, back out wide to Mings. He's going to send this cross in, and a gorgeous cross and a gorgeous finish. So basically, almost like the same goal as we had in the previous fixture, of course. Great to see them connecting again from that left back to our striker. Always nice to have that connection crossing in. Of course, that was a big part of our side in the previous season. Of course, we kind of, sometimes we just have to send hopeful crosses into Boymans and he'd win them and basically be, our entire offense with his big body. But we don't want to have to rely on that this year, because as you can see, we have the big man Zardes exploiting his pace. He's going to cut back in this ball to Boymans, and look at that. We do get a little bit lucky. That was a great save initially. Boymans able to pick up on the rebound and tap that ball back in. Great to see him, of course, getting these good goal positions. And look at Zardes, just so pacey. I don't like, exploiting over the top through balls, but this is one of those games where I just wanted to grab a lot of goals to help our goal differential, and so I kind of just said F it and went for it. As you can see, this was some gorgeous play, though. Look at that. The way that ball settled down exactly for Boymans was tremendous. There's no other way to pass that than over the top through ball. It fell kindly for Boymans, who's able to put it back in the net, and he has a hat trick in 10 minutes, I believe now. That is absolutely insane. But of course, it's kind of expected against a side like this. We need to be winning like that. We need to get our confidence and form up in general as well. But they're going to come back very strongly, because I was pretty lax defensively. I was just trying to get the ball back and just kind of counter and score some big goals. That's a very nice goal from them regardless. As you can see, they're up 3-1 now. Some good play, pretty poor defensively, I have to say. That big gap between our right back and center back there, but we're going to try to come back here. Looks like we may be able to right away respond very quickly. As you can see, we're going to have the ball. Boymans with some space, going to take the finesse shot. He's going to force a big save here. It's going to fall back to Zardes, who's showing some nice poaching ability there, to able to be in the right spots, of course, using his pace to head that ball back in. Of course, it's great to see. Both these guys need to be in form for us to really succeed, in my opinion, in this league, in this season in general, and of course in the Europa League as well. So we'll see how things go here. But they are gonna, looks like they may respond back here. That's some great play here. That is gorgeous. We cannot get the stop there. That's a really well worked goal, but it's a little bit too late for them on. Just another consolation goal. So it looks like we may be able to just hold on. I would like the 4-goal differential, honestly, or at least the 3-goal differential. But we'll have to stick with the 2-goal differential. Hope some things go our way throughout the league. Maybe get an even bigger win against them at their place, essentially. So as you can see, that 10-minute hat trick from Boyens Artist coming up big as well. So we're actually going to have a pretty big episode coming up. We're playing FC Twente, and of course we have some games in hand, so using those to catch up to Vitesse and Feyenoord would be tremendous. But it's going to be a tough task. Of course we have to worry about PSV Ajax there as well. This league is really improving right now. As you can see, all these teams are really close together, so it's going to be tough, moving on here. But you'll see in the Europa League group now, just a point away from Olympiacos, and they actually have a worse goal differential, so that really helped us, that win against Dundalk there. See, they're -2, so hopefully we can grab a win against them with nice goal differential and which would really help us try to move on in the group. So hopefully that things go well for us in that aspect. But you see in the next episode we're playing FC Twente, then Go Ahead Eagles, and we'll have I believe a match in the Europa League as well coming up against Atletico Madrid, and I'll have another Eredivisie match in store for you guys. But again, thanks for tuning in though. It's definitely a very interesting episode. It's going to be very exciting to see how this Europa League group finishes, guys. So with that, I'll be signing out now, and I'll catch you guys later.